think it's important to note before I start that in these 5 minutes I'll be speaking that somebody in the United States will die of a drug overdose, and it is almost a 72% chance that during those 5 minutes it will be fentanyl related.
Okay, got to look at Jelly Roll. I got something showing that he was like testifying. Like, hang on, Jelly Roll testifying. What's he testifying about? What's going on? This says Jason Jelly Roll DeFord opening statement. 6 minutes. We got to look at this. I don't know what the hell's going on.
DeFord, welcome for your first committee hearing, I assume.
Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I'm used to having a rock and roll band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here.
Okay, I love how it's like pretty formal, and then it just says Jelly Roll on the nameplate. It's so, like, he's well spoken. It's just funny, dude. Like the Jelly Roll name, I still struggle with that. And I've done a few songs of his, and they're all amazing songs. But it's still funny. And so for him to be at like some committee meeting like this, and it just says like Jelly Roll there, that's just great. I love it so much. All right, continue.
In front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here, I think it's important to note before I start that in these 5 minutes I'll be speaking that somebody in the United States will die of a drug overdose, and it is almost a 72% chance that during those 5 minutes it will be fentanyl related. Having started that way, Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and esteemed committee members, thank you for having me. I know this is a bit of a curveball, but I like a little baseball myself. My name is Jason DeFord, but to most I am known as Jelly Roll. It is important to establish earlier that I am a musician and that I have no political alliance. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. In fact, because of my past, my right to vote has been restricted. Thus far, I have never paid attention to a political race in my life. Ironically, I think that makes me the perfect person to speak about this because fentanyl transcends partisanship and ideology, gentlemen and women. This is a totally different problem.
I really like that because it's hard to get truly unbiased people, and no one's paying off Jelly Roll to shill for a side. Let's be real. You get me? It's not happening. And for him to come out and say, hey, you know, I got a past, I got a criminal record, I can't vote, so I don't watch politicians and campaigns and pick sides. Not a Dem, not a Republican, I'm just me, a musician. But we're going to talk about the facts because that shouldn't matter when it comes to parties. Obviously, we know one party is facilitating all of the fentanyl coming through the southern border, made by China, distributed by the cartels, and then the other tried to stop it. So we're there. But Jelly Roll is just making the case that it's not partisan from his side. He's just laying down some facts. Proceed, sir.
And women, this is a totally different problem. And I was speaking outside to the media, and I gave them a statistic that said 190 people a day overdose and die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry. Could you imagine the national media attention it would get if they were reporting that a plane was crashing every single day and killing 190 people? But because it's 190 drug addicts, we don't feel that way. Because America has been known to bully and shame drug addicts instead of dealing and trying to understand what the actual root of the problem is with that. But the sad news is that that narrative is changing too, because the statistics say that in all likelihood, almost every person in this room has lost a friend, family member, or colleague to the disease known as addiction. I've attended more funerals than I care to share with y'all. This committee, I could sit here and cry for days about the caskets I've carried of people I loved dearly, deeply, in my soul, good people, not just drug addicts, uncles, friends, cousins, normal people, Some people that just got in a car wreck and started taking a pain pill to manage it.
That's it.
One thing led to the other. And how fast it spirals out of control, I don't think people truly understand.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that pharma is so connected with getting people addicted to drugs. So they give you stuff for pain that gets you addicted, then they cut off your supply. Then you try to find the supply, and then you end up with a dangerous supply. And that's where these fentanyl overdoses happen. It's like someone got in a car accident or had a sports injury and then dead from a fentanyl overdose. It happens like that. It's not like always the degenerate crackhead who did nothing with their life forever since day one and robbed and stole from their friends and did all that and then finally succumbed to the addiction. Like, that happens for sure. But he's saying it's not everybody's that road. It's like we're getting poisoned, we're getting trapped, and then some people do better than other people of getting out of it. So it's very scary. It's very crazy. And it's really cool to see him talk about that. Yeah, Coltrane, you said, I lost my best friend to OD. The loss never stops hurting. Loved. Fiend's just dead. A lot of veterans, unfortunately. Yes, KWG, exactly. A lot of veterans, you're trying to have pain management, deal with depression, deal with post-traumatic stress, and so they kind of get in that rabbit hole of addiction. And then, you know, that doesn't always end well, man. It just doesn't.
So many people. Equally, I think it's important for me to tell y'all that I'm not here to defend the use of illegal drugs. And I also understand the paradox of my history as a drug dealer standing in front of this committee. But equally, I think that's what makes me perfect to talk about this. I was a part of the problem. I am here now standing as a man that wants to be a part of the solution. I brought my community down. I hurt people. I was the uneducated man in the kitchen playing chemist with drugs I knew absolutely nothing about, just like these drug dealers are doing right now when they're mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl, and they're killing the people we love. I'll be honest with y'all, my desire is to only get older and only do better and be better. I believed when I sold drugs genuinely that selling drugs was a victimless crime. I truly believe that, y'all. My father always told me what doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse. Now I have a 15-year-old daughter whose mother is a drug addict. Every day I get to look in the eyes of a victim in my household of the effects of drugs, every single day. And every single day I have to wonder if me and my wife, if today will be the day that I have to tell my daughter that her mother became a part of the national statistics. History repeats itself, gentlemen. Even in the 1990s, crack cocaine had long made its way into my middle lower class neighborhood. And at that moment, even as a teenager, you could have never convinced me in that moment that there would be a far bigger problem on the horizon in the form of a pharmaceutical drug. And then I watched opioids and Oxycontin burst onto the scene. I'm here to tell y'all that fentanyl is going to make the Sackler family look like saints. And I want to let y'all sit with that for a second. It is time for us to be proactive and not reactive. We were reactive with crack, we were reactive with opioids, and y'all are taking the first step at somebody in Senate finally being proactive. I truly believe in my heart that this bill will stop the supply and can help stop the supply of fentanyl. But in part of being proactive, gentlemen and women and ladies, I have to be frank and tell y'all that if we don't talk to the other side of Capitol Hill and stop the demand, we are going to spin our tires in the mud. Y'all are taking the first step, but I encourage you to take it outside of this room and you take it to your colleagues and your constituents and you give them the most that you can. I know I've got a few seconds here, and Senator Brown said I may or may not go over. All I want to say is that I not only encourage y'all to do this, I encourage y'all to take it a step further. At every concert I perform, I witness the heartbreaking impact of fentanyl. I see fans grappling with this tragedy in the form of music that they seek solace in music and hope that their experiences won't befall others. They crave reassurance. These are the people I'm here to speak for, y'all. These people crave reassurance that their elected officials actually care more about human life than they do about ideology and partisanship. I stand here as a regular member of society. I am a stupid songwriter, y'all, but I have firsthand witnessed this in a way most people have not. I encourage y'all to not only pass this bill, but I encourage you to bring it up where it matters, at the kitchen table. Thank you for your time.
Wow. Yeah, that was powerful, man. And he was like, I'm just a dumb songwriter. Yeah, I love when people who are like some of the most clever people, the most, clear thinking people, the self-deprecation. It's like, yeah, no, I know I'm just a dumb songwriter. It's like, bro, like you made drugs, you sold drugs. You're literally top tier of somebody we need to talk to in this area. And then he has the experience with friends, family, colleagues dying from the problem. And he knows who it's affecting, how it's affecting. And it was just great, man. That's what we need. We need sane, rational voices that can unite people who think very differently. So Jelly Roll could hit a audience that I could never hit because I am very partisan. I'm just like, yeah, and I don't hide that. I am constitutional conservative, more libertarian. But at this point, the liberals are not libertarian at all. They're like, daddy governed me harder. So don't even go there with me. But yeah, that was great. That was great. It's awesome. Jelly Roll, thank you for what you're doing. Love the music so far that I listened to. I will listen to some more later on. But yeah, that was good. We need it. We need it. Fentanyl is taking out our military fighting age force. Like males 18 to 50, I think it's the number one thing killing people 18 to 50, specifically males. So that's your fighting force, man. You want to be invaded, you want to lose your country, take out that group of people.